Long ago, long, long ago, as far back as the creation of the world itself, the gods were gathered together, constructing all the creatures that would inhabit this planet. They crafted buffalo, antelope, wildebeest, as well as scorpion, ant, vulture, and dolphin, and more. Every animal that exists on Earth was being moulded by these gods, including the Grootslang. They were incredibly proud of the Grootslang's design. It was extremely strong, and also extremely intelligent. Once they were finished, the gods looked on at their creation, admiring their work. They were generally pleased, but amongst their creations was one in particular that they realised was a mistake.
The Grootslang. It is too strong and too cunning. It must be undone.
The gods were all in agreement, and so gathered all of the Grootslangs together. They still liked many aspects of the design, so decided they could split the Grootslang up to create two different beasts. These were the elephant and the snake, the final two creatures crafted by the gods for planet Earth. The gods were pleased with the strength of the elephant and the cunning of the snake, and all was well. However, one Grootslang had evaded capture and made a home hidden in the southernmost region of the continent of Africa. Its home was a ginormous cave near to the Orange River. It would lure in elephants to feast on. Rumours of a huge creature living in this cave spread, and it became known as the Bottomless Pit. People claimed to have smelt a sulphuric smell coming from it. Some went to investigate. Few returned. Those that did bargained for their lives. One day, a prospector decided to explore the cave himself. He paid no mind to superstitions and intended to lay claim on anything of worth that could be inside there. Feeling confident, he stepped into the cave.
Right, let's see what you got for me,
he said to himself, and began to explore. He soon caught a whiff of the sulphur smell that others had described. He stopped briefly, shook his head, and continued.
Well, I'm sure that's nothing to worry about,
he reassured himself. A little further in, and he started to hear a strange sound, faintly echoing through the tunnels. It wasn't a sound he was familiar with. It was low and rumbling, and he was sure that it sounded alive. He stopped again and listened closely. He took a few breaths.
It's just silly superstitions,
he said, now with a slight hint of worry in his voice, and continued on. Eventually, the tunnel he was following opened into a large cavern, and there it was, the Grootslang. The prospector could see its shadowy outline in the darkness. Huge, monstrous, and very real. The prospector almost let out an involuntary scream, but managed to catch his breath. It mattered not. The Grootslang was aware of his presence.
Who dares enter my home?
The prospector was startled and dropped his torch.
Apologies, I'm just leaving. I did not mean to interrupt. I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. Don't mind me.
He was slowly backing away from the creature, intent on leaving urgently. The Grootslang took a step toward him and flung its huge tail out, wrapping it around him and lifting him off the ground. The prospector was hanging upside down, inches from the creature's face.
Please, I mean no harm.
The Grootslang grunted, and its hot breath surrounded the prospector. He knew this was the end. But just then, Out of the corner of his eye, he spotted something shiny, a glimmering in the darkness, which was reflecting from his fallen torch. Diamonds. Piles of diamonds all around where the Grootslang slept. With his free hand, he pointed at them.
Diamonds! You like diamonds, right?
He reached into his pocket and removed some sparkling stones of his own.
I have some. I'm a prospector. Let me go, and you can have them. All of them. Here.
He held out his hand, and the Grootslang's eyes lit up with desire. He dropped the Prospector.
Ow.
Give them to me.
The Prospector got up and frantically emptied his pockets. He had a few diamonds, and he hoped they were enough.
Now go.
The Grootslang demanded, and the Prospector ran and did not look back.